Much better.
Good morning.
Good morning. So, this is the first of maybe several interviews with you, and I just wanted to, for the sake of everybody in your life who might be interested in hearing about your life, I want to ask you a few questions.
Okay.
So, you just had a birthday, right?
Yes, I was 86 years old. If I'd known I was going to live that long, I would have taken better care of myself. I'm named after my third son, John, and
Why didn't you, the full name?
John Knowlton Williams.
That's not my name.
No, it's John.
Who's your third son? Oh, that's me. Oh, I get it. Okay.
I have no idea who Knowlton is,
Yeah, it's a family name, right?
but I go by Jack.
Yeah, you do. You do.
My mother, I think it was, said, I'm not going to call the kid Knowlton, so it named me Jack.
So you go by Jack. How many other things do you know about yourself? And your family, so your offspring. So rattle that off, because you know you have that photographic memory. So let's hear it.
Well, my family,
Yeah, who's your family?
going back to before I was born.
Well, let's start in the present, and then I want to go back. Yes.
Okay.
So let's talk about who's your family right now. Your kids, your grandkids. How much do you know about your family right now?
Well, right now I'm 86 years old. I have 4 sons, 10 grandchildren, and a bunch of great-grandchildren.
Well, go as far as you can. Tell me their
Okay,
names.
I can't go beyond great. Anyway, Michael is the oldest, and he's now 66 years old. And then there's Steve, who's 63, I think, and John, who's about 61. And then there's Greg, who is 57. So there are 4 sons, and the daughters just didn't happen. That's all there is to it. They just didn't happen. But then I got a bunch of very nice daughters-in-law and granddaughters that are just fantastic. So pretty nice.
What about your grandkids?
Well, starting with the oldest, Michael went into the military in the Air Force. He was he did pretty well in school, in high school, and then he went away to college to Purdue, and I think he was 19 years old when doing summer intern work down at the NASA Space Center in Houston. And while he was down there, he took a summer course, and he met a young lady named Carrie. And so when he wrote a letter and said he was seeing some lady named Carrie, I said, well, I'm really happy to hear that you're having some social life. And he writes back immediately, Dad, this is not a social life, this is the girl I'm going to marry. I said, wow, he just got down there, he's 18 years old, and maybe he just turned 19, he's the girl he's going to marry. I said, okay, well, fine. And next thing I know, he wants to bring Carrie out to California to meet us, which he did. And she was a nice young woman. But anyway, long story short, Michael married Carrie in a service down in Lamarck, Texas. And we all went down there for the wedding. And the wedding was down in Lamarck, and they got married, and he was 19 years old. Only 1 year older than me when I got married, 18. So anyway, Mike and Carrie, he spent 21 years in the Air Force. They had 3 children. First of all was Priscilla, who was born not too long after that, but she was born in 81. And Priscilla's been, let's say, just mentally challenged. She had some problems. So anyway, she's in a home down in Texas right now. And then later on they had Ben. I think that's our oldest grandchild. But anyway, Ben is now a lawyer in Florence, Montana, Missoula, Montana, and he's my little kid. He's 6'6.5", I think, and they have 2 children, and it's Asher and Cora Bell, and they live in Florence, Montana. So there's his wife is Tiffany, and Tiffany graduated from Lamar. She graduated from school in Texas. So right now, what she's doing up there, she's mostly back as a photographer, and taking pictures and making quite a good income at that. Michael had a third one named Virginia. Named her Virginia because at the time she was born, they lived in Virginia. And Virginia Irene, and Irene because of my dad, who was married a short time before he died, a second or third marriage, so they named Irene. So that's their family. And then the next one we have was Steve. He spent 5 years in the Air Force, and then he came out and he went to work for SMUD in Sacramento for a while. When the kids were small, we lived for a while in Eureka, California. In Eureka, California, I worked for the Department of Employment up there. And we had 3 children, and then Greg came along later. We eventually had 4 sons. But while we lived up there in Eureka, we had a circle of friends, among them Conrad and Kathy Mant, NDT, and they had 3 children. And we got together with them a lot. We camping, picnicking, social at night, and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, their 3 kids were Debbie, Mark and Joanna. And Debbie was 3 years old, and about Greg's age. About Steve's age. So anyway, Steve was before he went into the service, he kept talking about this Debbie man.
Yeah.
This girlfriend of his used to live in Eureka, and she was 3 years, and she was now an adult. He thought she was the most fantastic person in the world. So anyway, he got together with her one time, and they got married before he got in the service. They were stationed first of all in I think in Spokane, Washington, and then eventually up in Alaska. And after they got up there for 4 years, they separated and got divorced. So then he didn't have any kids with her right away. And then he went back to Arkansas. Eventually he came back, and he met a few young women there in Sacramento, but he got a phone call one day from Debbie, who was up in Washington State. And he got all excited again. He wanted to go, and long story short, they got together and got married again. She had a daughter named Amber, and then Steve and Deb were together for a while, and they had Adams. So there's 2 kids there. Anyway, Amber, as far as he's concerned, that is his birth granddaughter. But she had a different father. But he's dead now, and Amber, as far as we're concerned, she's just one of our grandchildren.
For sure.
Absolutely, and just a wonderful, beautiful person. And Adam, also he's done well. He's completed college. He's working as a computer programmer or something for a firm. And right now he's back up in Vancouver. He was in Texas for a while.
He's an engineer. He's an engineer.
Engineer?
Yeah, he does engineering in Knowlton.
Okay. Engineer, but he doesn't drive a train.
No, he designs. He's a designer. He's a
I know.
guy, yeah.
I know. So, John.
Uh-oh. Oh no.
John, the one I'm named after. Yeah. He had several ladies friends. Several.
You're Jack, though. I'm John. Yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
My name is John. John Moulton Williams.
Yeah.
Didn't go by Jack. Anyway, John had several relationships, and I don't know. He finally married one named Kelly, and they were married for 20 years or better.
Almost 30.
Almost 30 years.
30 years, yeah.
And they're
Over 30 years.
They're divorced now, but a very, very nice family. They had 2 girls. Just real joy of our life. They're just really nice. It's Ashley and Whitney. And Ashley and Whitney now have their children. So Ashley has 2 daughters, Kelly and Lily. Kelly after her grandma, John's wife, Kelly, and had 2 girls. They're now living back in Nashville, Tennessee. Beautiful girls. Not only that, they're beautiful inside and outside. They're fantastic. And both live back there. And Trevor is district manager for Honda motorcycles back in Nashville. And wonderful father. Everything I can see, it's just a wonderful father to the girls and good to her and all that. And Whitney went back there because her sister was there, and they'd always been the two daughters had always been just bonded the whole life, you know, Ashley and Whitney. So Whitney went back there because I think because her sister was there. So she had she's married to Todd, and they have a youngster named Charlie. Named after my dad. Not really. His name's Charlie anyway. Yeah, and I guess I could say this if I want to, and I say he is just a fantastic looking kid, beautiful, handsome. And you can say that because he's mine.
Yep.
And let's see, do I have more sons? Yeah, Greg. Greg was born in Eureka when we lived up there. Born in 64, I think, in Eureka. And so he's now 57, and he's married to a psychiatrist, you know, and we love her lots. She's just fantastic. Her name's Kate. Kate, she goes by the name Warburton. I think that's a professional name, or probably a prior name she had with marriage, but and just fantastic person. And they have 2 children, and they're Courtney and Zachary. And Zachary was just down here a couple of days ago visiting with me. Yesterday, wasn't it?
Yesterday.
Yeah. He visited with a couple of days ago.
He's a pretty great kid.
Yeah, he's completed university up at Western Washington in Bellingham, and Courtney attended university down at University of California in Santa Cruz, and she's now working at something, teaching. I think she wants to teach school. I think.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and she's in Santa Rosa, California.